What is up, guys? Welcome back to the UFC arena, UFC 271 Hindsight. Now, with hindsight, I like to let the time pass, and then after I watch interviews, see what people talking about, let it breathe a little bit. Because a lot of things come out after the fact. You figure out, oh, this person was injured. You figure out that this person had a bad training camp. The truth comes out after the fact. So I like to wait a little bit before I drop my hindsight video. So now here's the video for UFC 271 Hindsight. Run the intro. Alright, so we're going to start with the first fight of the card, which was Blood Diamond versus Jeremiah Wells. This fight did not go well for Blood Diamond. Of course, there was a lot of pressure on him, a lot of anticipation, because this is Adesanya's teammate. This is the guy who's been hyped up the entire time, but he got out-wrestled. We really didn't get to see much from him. The start of the fight was funny. Jeremiah Wells ran and then he tripped on the cage, but other than that, he dominated the fight. He was able to grapple him, control him, get him to the ground and submit him. Blood Diamond went to sleep. Not much to see here. Still looking forward to seeing his next fight where we could really see what his striking looks like. Who knows? Hopefully. I doubt they're going to pair him up with a next grappler after that performance. Anyway, fight of the night was Douglas Silva de Andrade versus Sergey Morozov. This fight was crazy. It was a crazy comeback as well, because Silva de Andrade, things were looking rough for him in that first round. His partner got rocked and he was able to come back and win, and not just win but finish the fight. That was a crazy fight. Now we're going to jump ahead to some fighters on the prelims. Kyla Phillips did exactly what I thought he was going to do. He came with that energy and he came with that excitement, and if he could fight like that over a sustained period of time, he would be a real problem in this division, because partner does not stop. He's wild, he's powerful, and he's skillful. That's the biggest thing. He is good everywhere, and it showed in this fight. Beautiful submission win for Kyla Phillips. Roxanne Modafferi, respect to the veteran. The decision did not go her way. Casey O'Neill is still undefeated at 9-0, but Modafferi is riding off into the sunset. She had a great career. 25 wins, 21 losses. That is a lot of fights, right? 46 fights, especially for a female fighter. You don't really see records like that. So she has been there, done that, and she has been very tough in this division. So a lot of respect to her, and I wish her the best in her endeavors. Next, we move on to the main card. This one turned out exactly how I thought it would. Bobby Green is a problem. This guy is good, and I could not believe that he was not ranked. When the commentators were saying, he's yet to get a rank, and I'm like, wait a minute, Bobby Green is not ranked? I mean, it kind of goes to show how deep the lightweight division is, but Bobby Green needs to be ranked for real. That guy is a top 15 fighter. And boom, breaking news, he has stepped in to replace Benil Dariush. He is going to fight Islam Makhachev at 160 pounds. And I don't like that fight for you, Bobby, but this is one of those things where, he has nothing to lose, because Bobby is ranked way down. He's stepping in on short notice. If he loses, everyone will be like, okay, sure, he was supposed to lose. But if he wins though, that's going to be another story, because Islam Makhachev is a highly touted prospect right now. Everyone is kind of expecting him to be the next coming of Habib and expecting him to win that belt, and he's very, very close to a title shot. Back to UFC 271 though. Bobby Green had a great performance. He was sharp. Hakparas had nothing for him. Bobby Green looked great on the feet, and he hardly got touched, which is why he's able to just turn around quickly and fight on such short notice. Next, we had Renato Moicano versus Alexander Hernandez, and Moicano came through with the second round submission. Moicano had some good counter striking in there too. It kind of surprised me. I mean, I knew he had good striking, but I'm seeing a little improvement there. What I would say is Moicano is not as fast as some of the other people in the lightweight division, but he definitely poses a threat on the feet, and we all know his ground game is another story. Alexander Hernandez, he's turning into a bit of a win-loss fighter, a good fighter, but not a great fighter right now. He's still young though. Who knows what will happen in the future. And now to the next fight. Jarrod versus Derek Brunson. I got this one right. Jarrod Cannonier was able to stop Derek Brunson's wrestling, and when I say stop, he got taken down, but he was able to get back up to his feet until he found that shot that took Brunson out. And the reason I thought Cannonier would be able to stay on the feet is because he knew from the jump, okay, I'm fighting Derek Brunson, this guy's gonna wrestle me, I'm gonna have to be able to get up, and I'm gonna have to be able to keep him at distance. And that is what he did. He landed a beautiful short elbow in the clinch, and that was the beginning of the end. My guy Brunson was on wobbly legs, he was dipping and falling, and he could hardly stand up properly. And then Cannonier threw him to the ground, and those follow-up elbows, those were vicious. You know when he said he gonna turn blonde Brunson into blood Brunson? Yeah, those were the elbows that did it. Tough break for Brunson. It seems that in hindsight we could see that Brunson is what I thought he was in terms of he's a gatekeeper. Now I would say I have underestimated Brunson several times, and I have a lot of respect for Brunson. He is better than I thought he was, but at the same time, the elite of the elite, he's just a little below them. And I mean, he's also getting up there in age, right? So it's understandable. Alright, so in the co-main event, we had Derek Lewis versus Tai Tuivasa, and boy, did this fight deliver. They said they were going to come out swanging and banging, and that's exactly what they did. But I will say, this fight was going a little weird because Derek Lewis all of a sudden partner turned into a wrestler. And the first thing I thought is, alright, book it right now. Ngannou versus Derek Lewis in a wrestling match, winner takes all. But surely enough, it didn't stay a wrestling match for long. Tai Tuivasa, I can't believe he ate those shots that he ate. Derek Lewis got him to the ground, and when Derek Lewis is on top of you, most likely it's night-night, but it was not to be. Lewis was blasting Tuivasa with some big shots while Tuivasa was trying to get up against the cage, and I thought, yep, that's the end of this fight. It was a good one, but that's it. But Tai Tuivasa ate them shots, and he gets up and starts swinging back. Like, that is the definition of a gamer. Like, are you seeing this? This man is a gamer, and he came to fight, and he was not backing down. And then tonight seemed to be the night of the short elbows, because Tuivasa landed a beautiful short elbow on Lewis, and that was all she wrote. I've never seen Lewis get knocked out like that. Partner went out face first, and that was all she wrote. It's a shame that Derek Lewis could never seem to get that big hometown win that he's looking for. You know, I would have liked that for him, because you know they love Derek Lewis in Houston, but it wasn't to be. Tai Tuivasa, how could you not like that guy, man? And the Shoeivasa is becoming a real thing now. We have Dana White doing shoeies and thing. So yeah, this man is picking up steam, and he's becoming a legit star. Lastly, we have the main event, Adesanya versus Robert Wittegan. This was an interesting fight. It was a chess match, just as I anticipated it would be. And looking back on the fight in totality, I think that the right man won. However, I also think there's a good case to be made for people saying that Robert Wittegan won, because it was a very close fight. I don't think some of the rounds were as one-sided as the commentators made it seem, but I do think if you look at the fight as a whole, Adesanya won the fight. The first round was the most dominant round for any fighter. Adesanya dropped Whittaker, and it seemed as though this was about to be a bad night for Whittaker. However, Whittaker was able to bounce back in the fight, find his composure, and go on to fight good for the rest of the rounds. Now, they were both very tentative, which is what I expected, especially for Whittaker. You've been knocked out by this guy before, and what we have come to learn with Adesanya is if you don't push him, if you don't initiate, he is more than happy to sit back, pick you apart with shots on the outside and leg kicks. So if you don't bring the fight to Adesanya, he will stay back. So we see that Robert Whittaker thinks that he won the fight, and I can understand why he thinks that. We also had people like Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler that seem to be leaning towards Robert Whittaker as well. Listening to Adesanya talk after the fight, he was saying that he really wished that he trusted his gut and he trusted his instinct. He stuck to the game plan this time around, but he really did not let his hands go as much as he could have. And he was saying that he wished he asked Eugene what shot he dropped Whittaker with, and then, you know, followed his instincts, and he might have been able to finish Whittaker. Izzy fought safe. He was not able to find certain shots on Rob that he thought he was going to find, and in the end he just stood back and played it safe. I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed that both of them didn't do more, but at the end of the day, I understand that these kind of fights are high level fights. Any little mistake can be very costly and can be the determining factor between you winning or losing a championship. Overall, I think the right man won, and I will be looking forward to Adesanya versus Cannonier. And if I'm being honest, I think that one might be another chess match where Adesanya might be cautious again. But anyway, guys, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed my content, please remember to like, please remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know every time I drop a new video. We're on the road to 400 subscribers, so please help your boy out, and I'll see you all in the next one.